Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and this is your weekly edition of TV news where we talk about all the TV interesting things that happened. That wasn't really a sentence. Uh,
And sometimes they're not that interesting.
and also, just a little behind the curtain stuff here. We tend to record the news very late on a Friday when we're really sleepy, so there's a reason why this one tends to tangent into more really weird conversations.
Yeah, it tends to be kind of, we're done for the week. Let's just
Yeah.
just get this out.
Yeah. Friday's the end of our week. It always kind of has been. It's kind of this weird thing where Friday's the end of the week. Saturday doesn't typically have TV, and then Sunday's the beginning of our week.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we track it. But
Yes. But to be fair, Friday is the end of most people's week.
well, true. But they have a weekend, whereas we don't really.
We have a day,
We have a day, and even then we
and
have
even though that's packed with other stuff.
yeah, because we have all the stuff from Friday night that we need to get through. So as much as we say Friday's the end of the week, it's more of a symbolic end of the week. We still spend Saturday doing all the Friday stuff that we're not done yet. Anyway, we have news to talk about, and we have a decent amount this week. More new shows to talk about, some other quick tidbits at the start, a couple of renewals and stuff. So, first things first, just very quickly, Lethal Weapon has been given a full season order. Well, I say full season. This is now the second show on network TV to have its episode order extended beyond 13, but only go to 18.
Interesting.
It's almost a trend. So it's almost the start of a thing that I'm seeing here. And I wonder, because it is worth mentioning that this already kind of happened in the past. See, if you watch like a TV show from the 80s, it tends to be 26 episodes per season. If you go all the way back to the 60s, if you watch like the first season of Star Trek, it's like 29 episodes. That seems to be a
That
thing.
dropped like each season.
Yeah. But like specifically from the 80s, because for a long time it was like 24 to 26 was the normal, and then it became 22. And then
Yeah.
it feels like now we're in a transitional period where they're switching to 18 to 20 for a lot of things.
Yeah. First thing I noticed on was definitely How to Get Away with Murder, which was 18. So I wonder if that success has rubbed off on some of these other things.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they've just got more mid-season shows coming in and they have to make sure there's more room in the schedules come, February, March.
That's true, which is exciting.
Potentially, yeah. So that's Lethal Weapon. Also getting some renewals then. So that wasn't a renewal as such, that was an extended in the order of this season. On renewals, we have Scream, which has been renewed for a third season. The episode order is cut though, because I believe season 1 was definitely 10 episodes. I think season 2 was as well. Season 3 is going to be 6 episodes, and they're also. Well, worrying if you're a fan of the show, they're replacing the showrunners for season 3.
I'm not even sure why they're bothering.
It's popular, people like it. The MTV audience has embraced their TV show of Scream.
Yeah, I'm not sure I approve of the MTV audience.
We'll be talking more about MTV later, actually. And we talked about
God.
and we talked about them last week with Freaks of the Heartland. So they've got things coming that we will have to check out. So,
Don't test me, MTV. Don't do it.
and the other thing that was renewed this week, almost kind of a really awkward time, because we just kind of dropped it, and that is Van Helsing has been renewed for a second season of 13 episodes. They're going to start shooting in 2017, January, and obviously it'll air probably a similar time next year. We had technically we basically dropped this after episode 3. We didn't necessarily intend to drop it after episode 3, but it just kind of the stars aligned, and it
I
got
just called it.
it got to a point where it was getting pushed so late from the air time that it was just not worth doing as much anymore. Especially given it seemed like less and less people were watching the videos. So, but obviously,
And I was less and less interested
yeah,
in the show.
not that Connor's interest is something that will dictate what we do and don't do. I'll force him to watch many a thing.
There's going to come a day where I will take a stand.
You say that, but you're still reading like the worst comic book being published right now for the Comics podcast.
I am.
because
What is
I
wrong?
because I tell you to.
That's
Because-
a good point. You'd think if I was ever going to take a stand, it would be that, wouldn't it?
Because what Peter wants, Peter gets. Anyway, um, So yeah, Van Helsing's been renewed, and so obviously some people are enjoying the show because enough people are watching it that, and I actually kind of like it as well. I will probably go back and watch it at some point. I'll binge watch it maybe when it's all done, and I'll see how the season shaped up over the whole thing. But yeah, and the last thing before we get to all the new shows is there were some announcements made this week about Jimmy Olsen on Supergirl.
Mm.
He is going to become the Guardian.
Poor Diggle. Because for 3 years, people have been going, "Oh, I bet he becomes Guardian." Like after the "Oh, I bet he becomes Green Lantern" kind of died down, it was Guardian, right? Especially when he got that stupid helmet.
Yep.
And then they go, "Oh, hang on, we got hold of Jimmy Olsen now, do we?" He gets the suit.
Who's never been Guardian, but his character has sort of crossed with the Guardian a few times in the past. There was also a picture, the first image of him in costume as the Guardian.
I do not like, frankly.
I don't like it. I don't hate it.
I think it looks kind of ugly.
It's just kind
It
of.
might be one of those things where the promo pic looks awful, and then in motion, when I see it, it's like, it's not so bad.
It looks a bit bulky. They took all the colour out of it, and it's all silver now instead of because it used to have a yellow helmet. And
Yeah, I'm missing the gold.
I don't know. And forgetting how it looks, because whatever, we'll just get used to it when it happens. Am I okay with Jimmy becoming a vigilante?
It's
It's
I
a bit
get what you
weird.
mean, but it's not really vigilantism in that show, is it?
Well, no, it will be with him because they mentioned that Supergirl's going to have an issue with him doing it because he's a vigilante.
Oh, right, okay. I didn't read that part.
Yeah, there was a little blurb they put out about this causing conflict in their relationship.
Yeah.
So I'm not over the moon about it. I really like the show though. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and we'll see what happens.
Look, as long as they keep giving me a reason to eat donuts every week, they can do what they want for now.
The only other thing I'll say on it is I guess they had to find something for him to do because it feels like everyone else seems to have something going into this season, but he does not.
Yeah. I think
until now, obviously.
I think my bigger concern from like a bigger picture standpoint is this is the CW kind of trying to make it fit their other shows a bit more. Where, like everyone in like Arrow kind of joined the team. They had to be a part of it. They had to be out in the field. And I feel like this is kind of the first step into that. And it's like, do they need to be? Can they not have separate relationships?
At least not to the same extent. I mean, maybe I could see him maybe going with like Alex on things to do like basic human stuff, but Supergirl's up in the sky. She's doing all her stuff. I feel like at the very least here, he can't join her in what she's doing 9 times out of 10, because 9 times out of 10 she's up doing something impossible that he can never do.
That's true.
At the very least, it'll probably be like subplot stuff, or maybe while she's saving a building, or there's a small group of bad guys that can be beat up over here. Like that kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just see how it plays out. Did they say roughly what episode would get this?
No.
Okay. It'll be a nice surprise then. No, it won't. They'll ruin it in a promo.
Probably. Yeah, but I do hope. Part of me does hope that it's something that's only like a phase and then goes away.
Yeah, it's not going to be though, is it?
Oh no, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully. Anyway, let's get to all of the other news this week, and it's all new shows that are either in development or got pilot orders or whatever. So first up, TBS is not a network that we talk about too much, but they have given a pilot order to Nightmare Time, which is a comedy horror anthology series, which is in part written by Aubrey Plaza.
It's just ticking all my boxes, not gonna lie.
So Nightmare Time is set in Aubrey Plaza's Nightmare Clinic, and this is the part where I'm a little confused about. It says, where celebrity guests check in to overcome recurring nightmares. Now here's the rest of the description. Every episode features two insane nightmares inspired by the horrors of modern society and uses tropes and touchstones of the horror genre to guide audiences through its absurd universe. Thanks to advanced technology, we're able to peer into their restless minds and witness their nightmares in real time. But what is real anyway? Maybe it's all just a nightmare in Aubrey's mind. One endless nightmare that could eventually destroy her and the entire world. It's worth mentioning that she is guest starring in the premiere, but she's not a regular. She's a writer on the show, but she is, of course, a regular in Legion on FX, so she's not getting the time to star in another show.
Why are you confused on that first part?
I have no idea if this is a purely scripted fictional show, or if it's something where actual celebrity guests come on. And
I got the impression it's scripted, and it's when they say celebrity guests, it'll be like guest stars, and it'll be like, because if it's each episode's in two stories, so each thing's gonna be like two 20-minute chunks, right?
Unless it's only 20 minutes long.
Right, unless they're 20 minutes long, which is two 10-minute chunks.
Yeah.
Way I would assume it's going to work is they'll get a guest star, they'll pop into the clinic, and we'll see, and then we'll have the story starring them.
But do they play themselves?
Yes, because it's their nightmare essentially.
Right. So if they get they wouldn't get Will Smith, but let's say they got Will Smith.
Right.
It's Will Smith playing Will Smith, but he's got a fake nightmare, and the whole story is just built around him being him. So what nightmare can we make about Will Smith?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the impression I get from that description.
We'll find out hopefully at some point, because at first I was like, okay, celebrity guest, okay, it's more of a, like, I almost didn't put it in because it almost sounds like more of like a reality thing. But then
I get, yeah, but it seems to me more just like guest stars. They're saying celebrity guests.
Well, yeah, but the rest of it then didn't sound like that, which is why I got a little bit like, I'm not sure what this is.
Okay.
Maybe you might be right. You probably are.
Ooh, rare you say that.
But I don't know. It's worded a little bit weird for me. I'm just not.
I get that.
Full onto it. All right, over to ABC. And again, I've done the comedies first, which is my structure for these. Well, we're getting a lot of them.
Sad that you've got a structure for all these now, though.
Blackish co-creator, co-executive producer, I should say, Courtney Lilly is working with ABC on another single-camera comedy, which is exploring what it means to be an African-American man in today's society. It's called Joe 2.0.
I've never watched Blackish, so
Me neither. I like the title though, because it's like, average Joe 2.0.
Yeah.
Title's good. So it's a single camera comedy where iconic pop culture moments are used to punctuate the everyday moments in the life of a recently divorced high school teacher. Very
could
vague.
be good.
Yeah,
could be good. Could be bad.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Not really much to go on there, but it sounds fine. I've never seen Blackish, so I have no idea if the quality's there. And even if it is, it's from a producer, so...
It's a bit more vague, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not really sure what it'll be like. Well, let's go over to Fox, and this one is untitled.
Oh, I love it when we get these.
It's an untitled single-camera workplace comedy. From the two guys who brought us The Grinder, which admittedly...
Just before you get any further, can I say I think we should have a new game when we have untitled comedies? Or just untitled shows in general. When we read the description, we should give them a name.
Okay, I'm cool with that idea. Well, let's see what it's about then. So it's from Fox, right? Fox are the ones who have put this pilot. So it's a pilot commitment, so they've effectively greenlit the pilot in the sense that if they don't greenlit the pilot, they'll
pay for it anyway.
They'll be paying for it anyways. Well. Yeah. So the comedy focuses on the office culture that is thrown into an upheaval when the startlingly un-PC CEO is pitted against the newly hired ultra-PC sensitivity specialist. That's it. You know what? It's a very short description, but I get a lot out of that. I can see what the show is.
That is exact. Do you know what? This is one of those rare times where you give me a comedy description and I go, okay, I can see something.
It's a workplace comedy where there's someone who's really PC and someone who's really not PC, and they're butting heads. There you go. That's your concept. It works.
Yeah. Social warriors.
Social warriors.
Also,
dear.
I quite enjoyed what I saw of The Grinder, so,
A boardroom meeting in Elm Street 3, the Social Warriors. Yeah, that sounds okay. And yeah, I only watched one episode of The Grinder. It seemed fine. It eventually got cancelled, which is a
I
shame.
watched about 4 or 5, and it was all right.
Yeah, it was all right. So yeah, that sounds okay. What do you want to call it then?
Social Warriors.
Oh, sorry. Okay, that was your.
I'm going with that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good guess. I don't even want to come up with one. I feel like
It's not a guess. It's what they should call it.
that's what they should call it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm willing to just agree to that one. I don't think I can come up with a better one.
All right. Well, we'll see who can come up with them each time.
Um,
I feel like there's at least one every week that's untitled.
yeah, every 1 or 2 weeks, I think there is.
It's all right. You can come back to it. Just if
I'm
it
trying to think
pops
of
into your
one.
head, throw one out.
I'm trying to think of one, Han.
You just can't allow it to me to have had the only like reasonable answer here. It's actually quite hard though, isn't it?
Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Damn it. No offense.
Oh, that's good actually.
No offense. Yes.
I like it.
Yes.
That was worth the wait.
I got there in the end. Right. Okay. Next up, Netflix. Now, technically, this isn't a new announcement of a show. It's more an announcement of the date for a show. But we haven't actually talked about this before, so it's new to us.
Okay.
And it is Netflix, and they have announced the launch date for their first ever original production from Brazil. And it's very much in her wheelhouse. It's science fiction. It's called 3%. And it's the entire thing. It's 8 episodes, right? 8 episodes. So Stranger Things length, which is promising.
It's promising.
Obviously, it'll be in. What do Brazilians speak?
Portuguese.
Yeah, Portuguese. Thank you. Because I very nearly said Brazilian. I'm like, no, that's stupid. They don't speak
That's I know.
That's not a language.
I know it's not that.
Yeah, it's not that. No, it's Portuguese.
I was like, is it Spanish?
Nah, you're right. It's Portuguese.
I think it's Portuguese.
It took me a second. But yeah, so obviously it's been Portuguese. But it's 8 episodes. It's directed from the director of City of God, which is one of the most famous Brazilian films. Which I didn't love it, but it was directed beautifully. It was a gorgeous looking film. So expect this to be a looker.
I've not seen it. It's something I've been meaning to watch for a while.
And yeah, so it's described as a futuristic thriller. It's set in a dystopic near-future Brazil, divided between progress and devastation. Brazil's surviving population live in a zone called inland, which lacks energy, food or water. At the age of 20, everyone is given one chance and only one chance to apply for the process, whose approved candidates get to live in the Mar Alto, a world of abundance, but only 3% of the applicants get to pass.
Will this be Netflix's first thing in a foreign language?
I don't think so, because I think there's like original Spanish productions, and technically you could count Narcos as...
I suppose.
Because that's mostly subtitled, I think.
That's fair enough.
But this sounds good. This might be the first foreign language series that we review, which is...
It might be.
Yeah, and it's coming fairly soon.
Is it?
November 25th.
Oh, God.
End of November.
Oh, man. I wasn't prepared for another binge yet.
Me neither, but we're going to have a busy 3 or 4 days at the end of November. Unless the first episode's terrible. But honestly, it seems fairly promising.
I have no reason to expect it to be.
Good director, good premise. We love science fiction.
It's got Netflix, so presumably a budget.
Yes. 8 episodes sounds the perfect length, quite frankly.
It does.
So, no. I'm all for it. I'm excited about this. This is good.
I am too. I've not really looked into it. I think I vaguely saw it being mentioned a few days ago, but I didn't actually read anything about it.
And also, small apology for anyone from Brazil that we offended by not knowing your language. I do apologise.
Hey, you didn't know the language. I'm pretty sure I knew it.
Yeah, but
I'm not convinced I know it. I'm still not entirely sure that's right.
No, but when you said that I knew it, like I was like, no, that's right. So you weren't sure.
I still feel the need to go and check, and I'm not. I don't trust your. Oh yeah, that's right.
It's Portuguese. I know it's Portuguese.
Okay. I can't think of any other reason I'd have said Portuguese. I mean, it's quite a random one to guess, isn't it? If that's not right.
Oh dear. Okay, let's move on. So from Netflix to MTV.
Sorry, I was just checking. There's Portuguese. I'm
Oh,
good.
good. Yeah, so from Netflix to MTV. So arguably the opposite ends of the television
Yeah,
spectrum.
right. Adjust your expectations accordingly.
MTV is developing. This might shock you. That you may not be expecting what I'm about to say.
Please don't be something good.
They are developing War of the Worlds.
Man, what is it with things getting TV shows?
I
that
know.
Get, like, I mean,
I know. Obviously, it was a book, of course, H.G. Wells, movie in the 50s, movie again in 2005 with Tom Cruise and Steven Spielberg. So, familiar property. They don't even give us a description because it's like, oh, it's War of the Worlds, you know what it is. Like, that's basically their attitude. But we do know that it'll be written by a former Teen Wolf writer named Andrew Cochran.
okay, less promising.
But then, he may not have been the lead writer. I mean,
That's true. That's true.
he could be good. I don't know. But between this and Freaks of the Heartland, it feels like MTV are trying to do stuff that doesn't feel like MTV.
Does, but you could also say that about Scream, and you know.
Well, because even Scream, the minute they announced that, I can see how that becomes an MTV thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
I can see the vapid teenagers that I want to die. I can see it. Whereas these two shows, I mean, sure, War of the Worlds, okay, you could make the main characters teenagers, sure, but it's still an alien invasion.
That's true. There's no getting around that.
Yeah.
Although, if they find a way to get around that,
Then it's not War of the Worlds. Just stop. Go home, basically.
yeah.
Go home, MTV. You're drunk. But there you go. Speaking of networks, I mean MTV we've spoken about a couple of times in the last 2 weeks now. Whereas here's a network that we have not spoken about in a while and very rarely do. Lifetime has greenlit a dark comedy, although it's an hour long. It's not a sitcom. A dark comedy called Mary Kills People.
Which one's Lifetime again?
What do you mean?
What have they done?
And they've not done a lot of unscripted stuff. Their big scripted hit is Unreal, which is the last thing they've been really going for.
Aye.
But they're not traditionally known for their scripted content.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so they're kind of But the first season is set to debut next year, and it'll be 6 episodes, hour long each. And here's the description for you. It follows Mary Harris, a single mother who's an ER doctor by day, but by night, she and her partner, a former plastic surgeon, moonlight as underground angels of death and help terminally ill patients slip away on their own terms. So far, Mary has managed to stay under the radar, but death is hot. Business is booming, and her double life is getting complicated. When her world starts to unravel, Mary realizes that she is going to have to fight dirty if she's going to stay in the killing game.
I like how they pointed out her partner was a plastic surgeon. Like that's the important part of this.
I don't know. It sounds okay.
It sounds like I can see it being fun.
Yeah, and it's funny because if they hadn't mentioned it was a comedy, I'd have been like, okay, it sounds okay. But the fact that they said it was dark, like funny, I'm like, okay, you know what?
Yeah, I can see the dark humor in that.
Yeah, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm cautiously interested. Certainly be something we'll keep an eye on. But so it's a nurse who secretly kills people at night, not because she's a murderer, but because she offers, euthanasia to people.
Yeah. Does that count as betraying your Hippocratic oath?
Nah, it depends how you interpret it, I suppose.
That's true.
Because if this is better for them and it's their wish, then you could argue.
I would like to see the show tackle this question.
Maybe they will.
I may be asking too much.
That's episode 3. Calling now. All right. Let's move on to CBS, our favourite network.
Oh boy.
But not really. They're adapting something. Yes, another adaptation. We've got a lot of these. Adaptation.
I was going to say, it took me a
Adaptation.
second to process. Hang on, that didn't sound right.
Hey, like I said, it's late on a Friday. I'm tired. Okay.
Yeah, I should be at the pub. I've already been to the pub tonight.
You're getting the loopy.
That's how late this is. I've been to the pub and come back.
All right. So, The Rainmaker, the John Grisham novel,
Okay.
has been adapted by CBS. They've got a pilot commitment. The Rainmaker centres on a young lawyer who thinks he's about to have it all, a six-figure salary and a beautiful fiancée, but suddenly finds that it's all ripped away, squaring off against the behemoth firm that he dreamed of joining in a case that could get him killed.
Are we still on comedies?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so, but then I was like, when you said it at the end, it's like, I kind of wish this was a comedy.
I'd probably be more interested if it was a comedy.
Yeah, me too.
But, nah, honestly, I can see that's just been a generic law thriller from CBS.
If it was maybe anywhere but CBS, that description I could see being decent.
Yeah, but it's
You know,
CBS.
I can see like taking on the big guy sort of story, but it's CBS, so it's just going to be just another legal drama, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. That is kind of what I expect at this point. So next up, Milo Ventimiglia, the guy from Heroes. He's in This Is Us currently. That wasn't me being loopy. That was just I can't say his name.
You can never get that right. Go and watch our This Is Us video, and
Yeah.
you can watch him screw it up there too.
Yeah, so he is producing a show on NBC as well with the Royal Pains creator Andrew Lanchowski, who he's friends with, but they never work together. It's also written by Russ Cundiff, who is a long friend of theirs as well. The reason why I'm mentioning that is because Cundiff is the writer, and it's apparently loosely based on his family life growing up. This is another one where I'm like, this is based on the writer's family life. I'll describe it, and you'll see where I'm going with this. So it's based loosely on his extended family growing up, which included several cops. And the drama centres on a tight-knit Florida law enforcement family who become the primary suspects in the disappearance of a notorious drugs cartel leader following a DAA plane crash. But the undercover federal agent assigned to find out the truth is seduced by the loving and lethal clan, compromising his mission and his life. Which part of this...
How loosely is this based?
Yeah, which part of this is based on his life? I really want to know.
What's this called again?
Kin. It's called Kin.
Okay.
I never told you. Good catch.
Well, it's a good job. I thought I was just forgetting, which, you know, it happens. Usually by the end of the description, I've forgotten.
Yeah, but no, Kin is what it's called.
Okay. Yeah, I really don't know what to expect with that. Sounds wacky, but at the same time, very serious.
Yeah, it's NBC, so I expect it to be fairly serious. I don't know. It's kind of... Because you've got the whole, there are suspects of this thing, and I thought, okay, this is about them proving their innocence, but then they seduced the undercover agent that's trying to, like, find them out.
Yeah, that's when it kind of starts feeling a bit more wacky.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no expectations one way or the other, honestly.
I really don't. No, I just don't know what to expect with that.
Alright, last news item. Excited?
Yeah, I am. That'd be good.
Freeform
Okay, never mind.
is doing something a little bit different with a show that they've got coming up in January.
Is this the Mermaid War?
No, it's not. I'd be more excited if it was the Mermaid War. It's a show called Beyond, which comes from creator Tim Kring of Heroes fame.
Oh, God. and this has come from someone who liked some of Heroes. More than I should.
Yeah. But what they're doing something a little bit different. They're actually going to, when the show premieres in January, January 2nd that is, they're going to actually put all of it on demand when the first episode airs. So it's still going to air weekly on TV, but the whole thing will be there to binge on day one.
Okay. January 2nd is also a weird day. Like, that's really early after New Year's. People are still recovering from their hangovers on January 2nd, frankly.
I almost feel like they're just sort of burning it off because they know it's not very good. But anyway,
I get that, but then why would you still air it weekly as well?
Yeah, it's premiering with a 2-hour pilot, or 2-hour first episode, and it's got a 10-episode season. Beyond revolves around Holden, a young man who wakes up from a coma after 12 years and discovers new supernatural abilities that propel him into the middle of a dangerous conspiracy.
We're going to have to watch this, aren't we?
The first one, sure.
Yeah, but you say the first one, but that's 2 hours right there.
Honestly, given that it's the 2nd of January and most other shows will be on break, yeah, we're going to watch this.
Damn it.
This is right in the dead zone. Like, we need content.
The problem is, there is nothing I care about on Freeform except for this Mermaid War, which I heard about once, and now it's like, I need this show.
It's funny though, because like Dead of Summer had a little bit of potential, but by episode 4 we're like, you know what, can we go back to Shadowhunters, please?
At least Shadowhunters made sense.
Well, it didn't make sense. I was going to say at least the ladies were attractive and they tended to dress quite slutty. I mean,
I didn't say it was good. I mean, it made sense what they were telling me. Dead of Summer didn't.
I don't know. I think some of the mythology in Shadowhunters didn't make a whole lot of sense, but whatever.
Fair enough.
Why are we arguing about what's the worst Shadowhunter show? I mean, it's really...
Look, the point is, it's not a Mermaid War, and there is no way that this show can ever live up to my dreams of it. But, god damn it, I just want more details on this thing.
If you're wondering what the hell Connor's talking about, there was some news about 6 months ago that Freeform is developing a show about a small town that goes to war with mermaids. So, you know...
I've been just hooked ever since, as I need to know more about this.
That said, there was also a TV show announcement like a year and a half ago about a vampire car that ran on blood, and it's still not shown up.
Oh, there wasn't there?
And I'm still disappointed that we've not seen this show yet.
Man.
It must not have went ahead. They must have like cancelled it.
I want to see the pilot still.
If they even made a pilot, it might have not even done that.
They might have done. But,
oh well.
But I feel like Freeform might give me this Mermaid War anyway, because why the hell not? It's Freeform.
With that said, guys, that is the end of the news. It wasn't quite the horrible show that last week's was, but, you know, still a bit loopy, because it's, you know, like I say, late on a Friday night. So, thank you very much for watching. Let us know what you thought of any of this news in the comments below. Hopes and dreams for some of them. What ones sound terrible.
Are you also now as excited as I am for this Mermaid War?
Yeah, like and subscribe, all that stuff. It helps us out a lot. Get us on Twitter at mild_fuzz. And otherwise, guys, check out all the other stuff that's coming up this week. Obviously, we've got new reviews of various things. The first review of Channel Zero is already up on the channel. That was the one new thing this week. The first.
You should definitely check out the show.
You should. If you like creepy stuff, if you like horror, I think it's worth checking out. It's a 6-episode season, so it's not a huge commitment if you like it. So we liked it, so check that out. Obviously, there was reviews of everything else that was on this week and other things, and we've got more stuff coming next week. And
also, final note: watch Quarry, damn it.
Yeah, watch Quarry. Quarry is one of the best things on TV right now, and it feels like it's not getting enough attention. So if you haven't watched the reviews, because you're just not interested in it, we're telling you now, it's fantastic. Go watch the show, and then ideally go watch our reviews too, because it helps us. But watch the show; it's really worth it. So thank you very much for watching. Do your homework. There will be quiz. We'll see you next time.
What was the name of the show I gave it? That's your question.
What show? What, the one you named earlier?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Can you remember what we called it?
Oh yeah, Social Warriors.
Okay.
What was that?
What did you call it?
No offense.
Oh, okay, you can remember. Got better memory than me, because I'd forgotten what I called it.
We'll see you next time, guys.